Don't look. See, no
Duncan, you've got it wrong. Drugs destroy lives.
Some of them do. And you know what? This is an unpopular opinion, but sometimes weed does. Like,
yes, I've said that many times.
People think you can't get addicted to weed. People think that
people get addicted to video games. We can get addicted to anything.
People don't get addicted to video games.
That one is not. That's not real. No. That's propaganda.
No. It's a form of self-expression, John.
Alex Berenson's book, Tell Your Children, is very interesting in that regard. Because he wrote, Alex Berenson used to write for the New York Times.
No, I'm not familiar with him.
He's really interesting, very smart guy, and really stuck his neck out about COVID, and got kicked off of Twitter and then sued Twitter and got brought back.
Whoa.
He won.
Wow.
Yeah, well, all the things that he was saying was based off of these scientific papers that he was reporting about. He's doing actual journalism about scientific papers that were in regard to the vaccines and lockdowns and masking and all kinds of different things, right? Well, he wrote this book before that called Tell Your Children. And, he knows that I like marijuana, but he was saying it's not without danger.
Yeah.
And we're lying if we say it is. And he was talking about the percentage of people that get schizophrenic breaks from high doses of marijuana. And I fucking know people who have. I know people who have. It doesn't happen to me, or it hasn't happened to me, but I know it's happened to people. It's a real thing with some folks.
Sure.
And to pretend that that's not, it's like, what? It's the one thing that has a universal reaction amongst all people and it's never negative? That doesn't make any fucking sense. That doesn't exist in nature. Peanuts kill people.
Yeah.
There's so many things that it's not universal. Some people it just doesn't work with them for whatever fucking reason.
It's so weird that the only thing that they found that is harmless is vaping. It's so cool, right? Well, look, I think it's all about personal responsibility. And like my friends who work with maps and stuff, that's something they say a lot, is it's personal responsibility.
Right.
Like, the idea is like you have to be able to check in with yourself and be honest about that check-in and then change behavior based on that check-in and not fall prey to the very comforting notion that continued long-term radical use of some substance isn't eventually going to lead to a possible negative side effect.
Right, and not only that, we're missing the opportunity to do two things. To do real, clear studies on people so we get actual real data. Because it's really hard to do studies on Schedule I substances, right? And one of the only ones was that Rick Strassman one where he did the DMT things at the University of New Mexico. It's hard to get federally approved studies on things that are illegal.
Yeah.
But if they weren't, if they were legal, rather, you'd be able to do studies on them, and you'd be able to dedicate all of the time they've been spending trying to lock people up, just resources for people so they can get educated about it. Not that hard to do. And just make people educated about what are the effects, what's the negative, what's a dangerous dose, what do you weigh, how much are you taking, where are you getting it from, is it pure?
DNA.
Don't do it because this is why you shouldn't do it. But if you're going to do it, know all these things about it. Here's why you shouldn't do it. It is addictive. Do you have a tendency towards addiction? Do you have any problems with other things? You're overeating, gambling. Do you have anything like that where you have a pathway that's already slick and smooth and pre-carved where you can just slide that new addiction right into?
That's right, yeah.
You might not want heroin.
Dude, they need this on 23andMe. Do you know how fucking cool that'd be on your 23andMe where it's don't smoke weed? It's just a list of things that genetically you shouldn't do and you could do. They're like, you know what? You're one of the very small percentages of people that could very successfully, with no side effects, do cocaine.
Yeah, you're a meth user. And you're also a head of industry.